Welcome to Emotionally Healthy Lifestyles. I'm super excited to teach this course this semester and to go along this journey with you. This is our first topic of the course. It's an introduction to the topic of emotional health and positive psychology, and also there's some information given to you about the nature of the course by explaining the course syllabus towards the end of the presentation. So I wanted to make sure that I provided you with a working definition of the concept emotional health. And when you're thinking about emotional health, sometimes the word mental health and the terms mental illness may come to mind. But it's different in the sense that emotional health is focusing on more than just the absence of psychopathology. So it's not just thinking about, is this person depressed or not? Are they, um, do they have anxiety or not? Are they bipolar or not? But it's a focus more on whether someone possesses positive characteristics that can help to enhance our lives and refers to our overall psychological well being. It includes our ability to be able to manage our feelings, how we feel about ourselves, how we deal with difficulties, and the quality of our relationships in life. So, there are some ways to try to determine or try to tell how emotionally healthy someone is. And a number of signs of emotional health are listed here. For example, someone's ability to deal with stress. Stress is something that happens in our lives from time to time. We have a variety of stressors that may trigger us, and our ability to cope with and handle those stressors as they come along helps to determine how emotionally healthy we are. Our happiness, our ability to be flexible and to adapt to changes. Sometimes we make a plan and things do not go the way we anticipate. For some, that may serve as a trigger and it may result in negative responses. But as you become more emotionally healthy, you're able to deal with those sorts of changes a little bit better. When your life has meaning and purpose, when you feel happy, you feel joy, and you're able to laugh and have fun and just enjoy life. Also, having high self confidence and self esteem, and having those meaningful relationships, and living a balanced life. A balanced life is important and does help to contribute to one's happiness and one's overall emotional health. And at times, it can feel overwhelming. I've heard from others, and even in my own life, sometimes you have to take that step back and say, okay, I need to make sure that I prioritize all of the things that I need to get done. I need to make sure that although my work duties are important and I get them done, that I do include time for those parts of my life that I genuinely enjoy. Time to have fun, time to rest, time to nurture some of those important relationships that are in my life. So the concept of psychological wealth is important. And what this refers to is um, people who have psychological wealth are generally emotionally healthy. Psychological wealth helps to almost provide a buffer for us so that when those stressors in life happens, when these events take place, when the disappointment sets in or there's something that happens in a relationship, you are able to cope with it a little bit better. People who are psychologically wealthy are often grounded in reality and able to see the good in the world. There's a focus more on strengths and improving strengths and being involved in activities that add to meaning in their lives. Psychological wealth includes positive emotional feelings, one's pursuit of goals in life, life satisfaction, spirituality, physical and mental health, loving social relationships, and having enough resources to meet one's needs. And by having all of those aspects in place, it does help to boost one's psychological wealth. For example, if someone is in a situation in which they do not have sufficient resources to meet their needs. Perhaps they lost their job and there isn't enough money to pay rent or to pay daycare or to make ends meet. Then that does have the potential to impact one's psychological wealth and one's overall emotional health. So, as I mentioned, psychological wealth can include those loving relationships we have in our lives, having enough resources to meet our needs, our spirituality, our physical health, as well as our mental health, being satisfied with life overall, having positive emotional feelings, and pursuing goals for ourselves in life. All of you are enrolled in this class and are, for some of you, you're coming back to college after being away for some time. For some of you, it might be your first experience with college, and you all have set goals for yourself. And pursuing those goals does help to add to your psychological wealth. And achieving those goals certainly helps to add to one's overall happiness. This concept of psychological wealth has been studied in positive psychology. Positive psychology refers to the scientific study of strengths and virtues that help people and communities to thrive. It's essentially the study of what goes right in our lives. As you saw or and heard in the TED Talks that you watched, for so long psychology focused more on pathology. And now there's been a shift towards these focused on more positive characteristics that help people to thrive. The underlying premise of positive psychology is that people want to enhance their experiences, whether it's their work experiences, their relationships, and people want to develop the best things about themselves. And they generally want to live fulfilling and meaningful lives. In positive psychology, there are three central tenets. You have positive emotions that could include happiness, fulfillment, pleasure, excitement. You have positive individual traits that includes things such as our interests, our talents, our strengths of character. And then there are positive institutions that can involve family, school, and work. Theory within positive psychology proposes that positive institutions help to foster positive traits and leads to positive emotions. Throughout the class, we will focus on these three areas and their importance in emotional health. Positive psychology offers a shift away from focusing on pathology to focusing on strengths. And through that, and through research in positive psychology, there have been 10 forms of positivity identified and studied, which are listed here. And these 10 forms of positivity, um, they represent a range of positive emotions, and increasing these positive emotions in your life can help to improve your emotional health and has a positive impact on your psychological wealth. These 10 forms of positivity are serenity, joy, amusement, gratitude, love, inspiration, interest, pride, awe, and hope. I want you to take a minute to just review those 10 forms of positivity and think about how many of them have you experienced recently? How many of them are currently infused in your life? Think about the last time you felt loved, truly unconditionally loved by someone. And how did that feel for you? Do you want to experience that feeling again and again? Think about the last time you felt joy or gratitude, the last time you felt pride or hope. And how did that feel for you? Are those feelings that you want to replicate and feel again and again? As you reflect on those emotions, you reflect on these forms of positivity, you will likely begin to understand how they can be so important in helping to build up your psychological wealth and improve your overall emotional health.